Okay, you just were promoted to lieutenant. You go out on the bay floor at the report of shift in the morning, and you let everybody know you're the new boss. You're a new company officer. Everybody kind of looks at you. Yeah, congratulations. Okay, so what? Big deal. But as the day goes on, you start to realize one thing. You're riding in that front seat of that fire truck, and you have a huge responsibility. The people in that apparatus. Whether you're a volunteer, whether you're part-time or a career firefighter, and promoted to the officer's position, you have a huge responsibility. Their lives. As the fire officer, one, you deal with a lot of human resource issues. You deal with the personal dynamics between employees. You deal with the fact that you got to have a daily shift meeting, exchange and communicate information one-to-one, and at the same time, you got to be a listener. And being a listener is a real important thing as a company officer because you're going to hear things. You're going to hear the grousing because the department made a change, or the chief did this, or the chief did that, and it just goes on and on and on. But the biggest problem is people are human. As a company officer, in order to command respect, you have to give respect. It's not just automatically owed to you. And I'm sure you've heard this before. But one of the most important lessons in life I can tell anybody is don't come in and think that you're better than anybody that's riding on that fire truck. Because guess what? You're not. You put your pants on the same way as they do. You got to look at the fire the same way they do. But the biggest problem is you took on a bigger challenge. Being a leader. And being a leader means you have to have faith in yourself. You have to have courage. Courage to do the right thing. Courage to execute an order that you may not like, as long as it doesn't compromise safety. Being a leader in the fire service is a very difficult task because most of us come from the rank and file into the leadership role. Our peers watch us move up the ladder, and suddenly we're their boss. The best thing I can tell you as a company officer, as when I made lieutenant, don't fall into that fatal disease called lieutenantitis. A lot of people walk around with their egos popped out, think they know more than anybody else, and at the end of the day, they end up destroying their leadership ability. People will respect you for your knowledge, for your skills, and for the way you present yourself by the way you carry yourself and the way you treat them in return. If you got two employees that are constantly at each other, deal with it as a company officer, but deal with it as you would deal with it as a regular person. Sometimes the best thing to do is bring both people in the room and say, you know what, you're embarrassing yourself. Knock it off. We're here for 24, or we're here for 12, we're here for 8, or we're here for this run. We don't need the cynicism going on between us. We need to move forward. We need to do what's right to protect our community and to protect each other. You have a unique opportunity as a fire officer to do one thing. Lead the way. Lead the way in a positive, motivational way that no one else can tell you not to. We can hand you all the resources in the world, but this the simple fact of taking the knowledge and the skill sets and learning interpersonal dynamics. I'm going to say that over and over. And the reason why is the company officer at the entry level, Fire Officer 1, that's where your education and your skill set has to come into play. Human resources.